Welcome everybody to Command Combat Battle Reports, and today we have Shogun Total War, and we have the Nagaoka, is that right? Yeah, Nagaoka versus the Tosa. Forgive me, I do not speak Japanese and probably mispronounce a lot of these things, but let's see what kind of forces we have here. For the Nagaoka, we have, let's see, some cavalry. It's going into the woods here. Boki, Boki. I'm going to call him Boki. Actually, it looks like a lot of cavalry all in the back. Yariki, yeah, it's all cavalry in the back there, so they're going to trample their own guys. Boki, all that sort of thing. And in the front, we have Matchlock Kachi, all that Matchlock Kachi, yep, Matchlock Kachi, a lot of Matchlock Kachi. And it looks like they're already in motion. Katana Kachi in the front. Matchlock Kachi. Matchlock Kachi. A lot of... Okay, and then Shogatai over here. So a lot of the samurai that are actually there. Alright. And so that's on that side. Looks like they have most of the... I mean, their infantry obviously is in the front. Matchlock Kachi definitely right at the front. Ready to do some damage with the... Generals Hatamo back here, and a lot of cavalry behind them. All right, and on the on the Tosa, as we can already see, they got the ninja right up here. Wow, they got with a guy with a mask right near the front, right already in their faces, watching where they are, kind of like they're the scouts, I guess, for the Tosa, seeing where the Nagaoka are gonna come out of. And back here we've got Tosa Imperial Guard Cavalry on one extreme side. They've got a lot of Red Bear Infantry here up at this front, backed up by some Katana Kachi. So it looks like they're all in their columns there, march columns ready to move. Royal Marines back up here, and they are standing still as a board, ready for this, although it helps that I have it on freeze frame. But they look like that. Gatling gun over here close to the river, and then in the woods we got some Tosa riflemen all hidden there. Shh, don't let the Nagaoka know that they're there. Waiting at the river for the Nagaoka to come on out. Yeah, and that Red Bear Infantry, as we saw, all standing there waiting at the river's edge for them to come. We're on the extreme ultra graphics here, like the top way the graphics will look. This is that Tosa cavalry that was on the side, Imperial Guard Cavalry. So everything here is the top that it can be. Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, we got some Parrot guns up here with a really good view of that valley. So if the Nagaoka come up over that hill, they're going to be ready for them. And over here we got some cavalry all lined up to go off. Looks like, I mean, because you can see the rest of them are pointing towards that ridge for them to go, and the cavalry is all pointed over this direction along with some Parrot guns. So it looks like they're going to head over that direction while the rest are waiting for somebody to come up. Maybe these guys will be crossing as well, waiting for them to for the Nagaoka to come along. We'll put it on the map here, and we'll push play and see how things go. It looked like the Nagaoka were in motion already. So yeah, from the point of view of these ninjas, we'll just sort of be watching them as they pass on by, and it looks like they got to a certain point and they're going to stop and maybe see what the Tosa do. Oh, it looks like there's more. I don't think I saw all these guys that were over here. Bokachi coming up out of the woods on the left, and so maybe the ninja didn't catch it. Oh, who am I kidding? Ninja catch everything. However, they're going right towards them, so that's probably not... really, oh, and they're starting to get hit. They have been spotted. The scouts. Oh boy, the Tosa, and they're coming full speed. The cavalry's coming. Yeah, the ninjas are like, let's get out of here. And it looks like it's too late. They're already going to get run over. So first blood has been spilled, and it is ninja blood. Is ninja blood actually red, or is, you know, it's a black like their souls? I don't know. Guess we'll never know. These are the secrets of ninja. We would Ask a Ninja, but Ask a Ninja no longer exists, unfortunately. So, we're not going to be able to find out if, you know, what the ninja's blood spilled, because they just got trampled and nothing's left. However, Tosa are firing their cannon, and looks like they're going up over that ridge. Wow, they're really good at aiming, because there's a ridge in the way and they couldn't see them. But anyway, the it looks like the Red Bear infantry is marching across that river to get up and across there. And you can see that this cavalry has moved up there. Tosa cavalry moved up there, and they have been scared away by the Nagaoka artillery, which means that the Nagaoka cavalry has made it up and over, and a lot of their infantry is now just rushing up over that hill. You can see them just going right up over there. The Tosa artillery is trying to stop them, and now their Gatling guns are firing at them, doing their best well, not really their best because they're missing everywhere, but they're trying to hold them back, and they have slowed the Nagaoka down a little bit to decide whether or not they really want to do this. And now, of course, their Machilakachi are like, screw this, we can do this, we're going. We are Japanese after all. Go for it. Actually, I was meaning we're samurai after all, because, you know, they're brave and fearless pretty much. And here come their cavalry going across that river. Looks like the katana, or the Tosa, have pulled back. Oh, and when you have that Gatling gun firing, shooting them down, it is trouble. And now the Katanakachi are turning around to take them on. And you have arrows going into this, so the battle has begun properly at the river there. You have, oh man, a lot of cavalry going at the Gatling guns and shooting them down, while meanwhile shooting from inside the woods, and a lot of the cavalry has gone in after the sharpshooters that are in the woods. Of course, now you have the Royal Marines who are now in the woods, backing them up, and so that's going to be a little bit of trouble for the Nagaoka there. And a lot of firing back and forth at the river here with these Gatling guns shooting them down. That's a lot of hits, but you do have these fearless, these fearless warriors are going across there. They're going to just charge that beach. And some of the horsemen are retreating out of there. The sharpshooters are going to get into place. You can see them getting in position. They're going to start firing, but this Katanakachi, they are up for that sort of a challenge. And they're just, and that horse was charging but did not make it very far. Alright, now you have all the Red Bear infantry is lined up. The numbers are on the Nagaoka side, but the guns are on the Tosa side. Tosa has a lot of the red type of guys, I've noticed. Alright, over here I noticed that the cavalry had moved over this position. Remember, these guys were in position, pointed this way. They've gotten over here onto the flank. It's them against only one of the Nagaoka units, and it is a bow unit. They're going to fire up at the cavalry that's up there, but the lower one is like, hey, we're here too. And they're going to start knocking them down. Actually, let's take a look here. Let's pause it for a second and take a look at what's going on in this battlefield. Okay, so where we currently are is over here on this far side. You can see that they have moved over there with 3 units of cavalry. We got this one up here. Where's this one? Yeah, this one up here. Up on the hill. We have the one that's lower down, closer in, and the one who is actually engaged. And so the Tosa are all over this particular flank. It looks like they are moving one of their pieces of artillery. I can't even see it visually. There it is. It is down there at the creek. It is their Parrot gun going around here. It looks like it's going to try to get into position on the flank of the Nagaoka. Meanwhile, the firefight is going down here in full. You have the Tosa have placed their riflemen backed up by their Royal Marines in the woods. The riflemen are not really great at hand-to-hand. Marines are better at fighting, as in addition to they're not as great at hand-to-hand necessarily either, but they're better than riflemen. And so you have the riflemen up front to do the shooting, the Royal Marines to do some additional shooting, and to go into hand-to-hand if they need to. They are going right up against a lot of the Nagaoka who are in the river, these Katanakachi, who are basically doing like a beach assault up towards there. And I mean, it would look bad for them. They're slowed by the river and everything, but they are very fearless. They have to hope, though, that flank holds, or else they're going to get run over on the side. So all along the river you have the Nagaoka, I mean, just a whole bunch of foot units and some cavalry units as well, in the process right now of crossing the river and going up there. And they have breached in some areas. You notice while yes, the riflemen are still there, outside the trees. They have rushed forward, and it looks like they have taken out, yes, they have taken out those Gatling guns now, or the guns themselves are there, but the troops are running away. The Red Bear infantry is trying to hold their position, but as you can see, it is frozen right now. The Katanakachi and the Nagaoka units are charging in there. This guy's about to get his head sliced in half. This guy is about to charge and jump up on top of him. And all along here, I mean, we just have a frozen perfect moment of this beach assault as they're going in at that I almost said Red Bull infantry. That's that is my side, is the Red Bull infantry. The Red Bear infantry is all there firing as much as they can, but they are being charged by very large numbers out there in the river. It's going to be, and then on this side they just got hit by some cavalry, so look for this part of the flank to begin folding. And you don't have any cavalry really protecting there. I mean, the Tosa have a little bit of cavalry over here, Imperial Guard, but they're being hit by Boki. Neither side is that great at hand-to-hand, but it does look like they are catching the Tosa unit in the rear. So they're going to be getting behind them there, and that's going to be really painful for them. So let's watch this part of the battle in a little bit of slow motion here, shall we? And see how this charge goes. Oh, there was that guy who was charging, just got flipped over. And yeah, so they're getting in there. The other Red Bear infantry is sort of watching them. And some arrows coming in. I mean, they may have the guns over here on the Tosa side, but arrows come in and they kill you just as well. So that charge is going to be taking place for a while. All right, we have... So some of the ninjas, the Nagaoka have gotten their ninjas in there. They're just kind of waiting to go in. And now they're going to throw in some explosive here. Let's see how they go off. Ooh, one of the guys got shot just as he was... Maybe his explosive should go off as he falls to the ground. I'm getting a little tired of waiting for that. Okay, here we go. And here goes their explosives. They just threw them in. And they kind of go harmlessly into the trees there. Alright, so I was sort of expecting a little more dramatic than that. But so... Tosa is holding on as best they can. Looks like some explosives are going off now in the middle of all this. Yeah, they're actually having a lot of difficulties. There were some ninjas in there, or somebody had some explosives in there as well. Breaking this Tosa line at this particular point. Nagaoka are trying to make a break through there before that flank attack can happen over there with that cavalry that I showed you earlier. Looks like they're not quite getting across there quite fast enough, and the Tosa are holding their position as best they can. However, over here they are they are now really making their move. The Nagaoka are really making their move across there. You got a good fight going on right here. Thing is, these Red Bear infantry, they're good at shooting and they have their own katanas, so they're going to do pretty well. At least they're going to hold their own somewhat against some of this. The Shogutai should actually have the advantage because they are better swordsmen. But like right there, oh, and when you get a kick to the face, oh, and he breaks his neck. Yeah, that's going to kind of do it. However, there's a lot of them, and they are once again pushing through there. It seems like the Nagaoka do pretty well at flanks. So when they are hitting their extremes, they get through. So, speaking of which, here comes their cavalry going through and heading up towards that artillery. The Tosa artillery has done pretty well this game, but now they are getting hit with arrows. And yeah, they said repel the attack, but that is not going to happen. So now the Tosa artillery is gone. They're not going to be able to throw that into all of that infantry that's coming across the river there. You can see that the Nagaoka are pushing through on the Tosa left. The General's bodyguard is trying to repair the damage, but it is not doing very much. Now Nagaoka are breaking through and starting to break that line, and it is becoming very thin, as you can tell. Over here in the middle, they are still quite strong. You have the Marines holding, and the sharpshooters are doing their best, but once they're against some really well-trained infantry, they get overwhelmed, and you can see them on all the different sides. Now the Marines are holding off against ninjas. Do you ever see ninjas against Royal Marines? Well, here it is. And the Marines are actually doing pretty well against them. I'm actually rather surprised. I'm going to go to slow motion again so we can take a look over here what's happening on this side. The Royal Guards have broken through, so they are able to make their attack. And just as they lost the one piece of artillery, they have just now set up their other. And it is, you can see just right down there. Actually, you can't see the Tosa extremely well, but they have a straight shot towards them. While, meanwhile, the Imperial Guard Cavalry, so this might turn the tide. I mean, as you can tell, the Nagaoka have broken through on their beach assault, and they have made it through there, and they're about to go after the General's bodyguard. But the Tosa have made sort of the last stand inside of these woods and are shooting out of there. So Tosa doing well from here over to here. Nagaoka doing well over here, and it looks like they're getting themselves ready for a big final assault into those woods. While meanwhile the Tosa are making their stand along that ridge and along in the woods there. So seems that they've really kind of made their lines there. Actually, just sort of to reiterate here, put it on slow motion again, you can see the line. It's the camera's right here, and it goes right up along the blue line is the Tosa. That's interesting because the blue, Tosa have actually had it mostly red. Their symbol is red, and a lot of their troops are red. But anyway, the blue is the Tosa, and they are lined up all along in that kind of L pattern. The Nagaoka broke through their lines, but there's still a lot of them inside the river, and so they're kind of trapped in sort of that hand there. So it's a little bit of an advantage actually to the Tosa. They're kind of pushing back. And you can see actually, I mean, it's sort of smoky. It's hard to see a lot of times, but they're shooting into there and starting to knock down a lot of, those samurai who are now having to go back. I mean, they may be fearless and they can push through on those beach assaults, but once the Tosa get themselves set up with a lot of their firing infantry, and here comes that artillery I was telling you about. That is back there. They're throwing artillery shells into this and breaking up those Nagaoka lines. The Nagaoka are trying to reform so they can get themselves into the position to do another brave charge into those woods. But that artillery fire is formidable. The Tosa really invested a lot of time into sending that artillery over there. It took it a long time to get there, but it is now paying off because it is in the perfect position to knock them down and really do damage to this charge. And so they're going to try to do a cavalry charge, and they have not learned the age of cavalry charges is over. And you can see the Tosa have really set up a good defensive line in here. They made sure to take the Royal Marines and get themselves set up. And now they're kneeling down. They have the front rank kneeling down, using the cover of dead horses, and they have more of them over here protecting against these flank attacks. Oh, well, it was flank attacks, but now they've even moved some more out to here, so now you have even more of a trap, and the Nagaoka are on the run, and that will do it. It was a costly victory for the Tosa. Congratulations. They got themselves, they were pushed back to those woods, and then regrouped there and put the artillery up on that hill, brought the cavalry forward, and just rolled up their flank inside of the river. And that is a lot of dead there. So that was a big fight. I hope you all enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to see more. And see many of our other videos. Happy gaming, everybody.